Hello, in this video, we are going to be looking at some algebraic equations. Right, so a couple of you had some issues with this last week, and it's not a surprise, they're not the easiest thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it quite slowly and very carefully, because this is something that, we really need to be getting right. It's something that can appear in selection test exams and SATs as well. So let's get this right. Now, the thing we really need to understand about this question, 7a plus 4 equals 27 subtract 2. The thing we need to understand is what we're really looking for is, what does a mean? What is the point of a? Now, when we deal with maths and numbers, usually we only use numbers, don't we? For any sort of maths question, up until year 5, it usually only involves numbers. So you might be a bit confused to see a letter thrown in there. The purpose of that letter is for you to discover. You need to find out what that letter means. What is it worth? And so therefore, the answer needs to be something like, the answer is A equals, and then you need to work it out. So the answer we're looking for is an expression of A. What does A mean? What is A, right? So I'm going to show you how we find out what A is in this example. Now, some people are lucky enough to be able to look at this question and not do any working out, and they know what A is. They know very quickly what A is. And while that's a good thing, you need to also be aware of how to work it out for two reasons. The first reason you need to know how to work it out is because you're not always going to be able to look at the question and know what the letter represents, not every time. So it's a good idea to know how to work it out. And the second reason is there are many exams which ask you to show you're working out. For example, if this was a question in an exam, it could easily be worth 2 marks, 1 mark for the correct answer and 1 mark for the working out. So we do need to really understand how we work a question like this out. So how do we do it? Okay, the first thing I like to do is I like to make a clear separation of the two sides of the equal sign. So I put a line down here, one side of the equal sign, and a line down here, the other side of the equal sign. Okay, because what that does is it's a nice visual reminder that what we've got going on is one side is equal to the other side, and we just need to appreciate that there are two sides that are balancing each other out. Okay, so once I've done that, my next step, I'm going to write it on the screen. My next step is to solve anything that can be solved. In other words, I'm going to look at each side of the equal sign and figure out, is there anything that can be solved? So let's have a look. On this right side, we've got 27 subtract 2. I know what the answer is to that. That's 25. Okay, that's very straightforward. So underneath it, I'm going to put 25. Okay, now on the left side, is there anything I can work out? 7a plus 4. No, there isn't anything I can work out because I don't know what a is. I can't do 7 plus 4 because first I've got to do 7 multiplied by a. Why do I have to do multiply? Well, whenever there's a number next to a letter, it means that number multiplied by that letter, but we don't know what that letter is. So we can't do that. We need to figure out what the letter is first. Some of you might be asking, well, why don't we just do 7 plus 4 first and then deal with the a later? We can't do 7 plus 4 first because the rule of mathematics is that we must do the multiplying first. Yeah, remember BODMAS? If you don't know what BODMAS is, look it up. But BODMAS tells us that we must multiply first, and if we can't multiply here, we have to leave it. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it down exactly as it is. 7a plus 4. Okay, so solve anything that can be solved. I've now solved everything that can be solved. There's nothing else I can solve at this moment in time. So when there is nothing to solve, I move on to my next step, which is get rid of numbers from letter side. Okay, it's not very well written, but what that means is if I look at the side where there's a letter, which is this side, there's a letter A, I need to get rid of those numbers. I've got to get rid of them. The reason I've got to get rid of them is because I want to leave A all by itself. Because if I've got A left all by itself on one side, then on the other side, it's going to tell me what A is worth. Okay, So how do I leave A alone all by itself? I need to get rid of the 7 and I need to get rid of the 4. The first one we get rid of is the 4. And the reason we get rid of the 4 first is because it's less involved with the A. What I mean by that, if we look at 7 times A plus 4, the 7 is sitting right on top of the A. The 7 is multiplying the A, okay? Plus 4, the 4 isn't so involved with the A, is it? So I'm going to get rid of that 4 first. Now, how do I get rid of the 4? Well, at the moment, on the left side, it's plus 4. So all I need to do is subtract 4, okay? So 7A plus 4 subtract 4. All I need to do is subtract 4 to get rid of the 4 that's there, okay? Because look, we've got plus 4, subtract 4. They cancel each other out. They both cancel each other out. So I can just get rid of them. They're both gone. And you might be thinking, well, hold on a minute. You're cheating, because why can you just get rid of a number that easily? I can't. What I now need to do is, because I subtracted 4 from the left side, I must subtract 4 from the right side. So this becomes 25 subtract 4, okay? So now, if I look at the left side, like I said a minute ago, plus 4 and subtract 4, they cancel each other out. So they're gone. Let's put a line through them. We're only left with 7A. And on the right side, you can see that there's something I can solve. I've got 25 subtract 4, which is 21. Okay, so we're getting closer, because look, I've got 7A equals 21. I need it to be A all by itself. A equals something. At the moment, it's 7A, so it's not quite, we're not quite there yet. But all I really need to do is get rid of that 7, and then A is all by itself. So how do I get rid of 7? Well, I do exactly the same thing as I did last time with the 4s, except I've got to change things a little bit, haven't I? This is why. At the moment, 7A means 7 times A. When there's a number next to a letter, it means that number multiplied by that letter, right? Now, up here, when I wanted to get rid of 4, I did the opposite. It was plus 4, so I just subtracted 4 to get rid of the 4. Down here, it's times 7. So to get rid of the 7, I've got to divide by 7, like this. And because I've divided 7 on the left side, I've got to divide by 7 on the right side. Okay, so let's look at the left-hand side. We've got 7A divided by 7. We've got times 7 divided by 7. They cancel each other out, okay? So that goes. We're left with just A. And on this side, I've got 21 divided by 7, which is 3. And look, I am now left with A equals 3. So I know what the answer is. So it's a bit of a lengthy process. But to be honest with you, I could have done that in about 20 seconds, maybe even less. The reason it's taken so long is because I want to break down each step for you, and I want you to be able to rewind at any step and make sure you fully understand it. And the more you do this, the quicker you're going to get as well. Okay, so what I will do now is I will show you one more, but I'm going to talk quite quickly, and I'm going to go through it quite quickly, okay? If there's anything you don't understand, just refer to the first question, but hopefully you'll understand how I do the second question now. Okay, so I'm going to go a bit fast. Right, actually, before I start, I'm just going to remind you of the rules. Solve what can be solved. Get rid of numbers from letter side. Okay, so they are our rules. Right, first step, I am going to divide the equation by two, okay, by drawing 2 lines. Next step, solve what can be solved. 38 take away 6 equals 32. I can't solve anything on the left side just yet, so I'm just going to bring it down exactly how it's written. 9A subtract 4. Next step, nothing can be solved, so get rid of numbers from the letter side. The letter A is over here. 9A subtract 4. So that's where I need to get rid of the letters, the numbers, sorry. Okay, at the moment, we've got times 9 and subtract 4. I get rid of the 4 first because it's less involved with the A. To get rid of the 4, I've got to do the opposite. It's currently subtract 4. So now let's do add 4. That becomes 9A subtract 4, add 4. But because I added 4 to the left side, I must add 4 to the right side. 32, add 4. Okay, what can be solved? Right, left side, subtract 4, add 4, they cancel each other out. If you take 4 apples from the fruit bowl and then put 4 apples back in the fruit bowl, nothing has changed. 0, it cancels each other out. Okay, so this is gone and we're left with 9a. Let's write it down here. And on the right side, we've got 32 plus 4, that can be solved. The answer is 36. Right, okay. What can be solved? Nothing. So what I need to do is get rid of numbers from the letter side. If we look over here, we've got 9 times a. The opposite of times, or the opposite of multiply, is divide. So we've got to divide by 9. If we divide by 9 on the left side, we've got to divide by 9 on the right side. Okay, what can be solved? 36 divided by 9 is 4. And on the left side, the 2 9s cancel each other out. Times 9, divide 9, they cancel each other out. We are left with a. So a equals 4. Okay, right. So now that I've done this, I'm going to give you some questions to practice. So here you go. So a great challenge would be to see if you can do this in 2 minutes. If you can't do it in 2 minutes, don't worry, take all the time you need. Even if it takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, ultimately try your best to understand this and let me know how well you do. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope it's helped. Thank you. Bye.